Quest presents an unabridged recording of A Gate to Somewhen Else by L.J. Hutton, narrated by Annie Aldington. Chapter 1. The annoying voice was at it again, echoing around the railway station's void like an irate magpie's crowing. "Catherine! Catherine! Over here!" Whoever the hell Catherine was, Cat really hoped she would show up and silence this irritating relative. It was bad enough that she'd had to get up at some ungodly hour to catch the train for a commission, which in truth she really didn't want, but in her current circumstances couldn't afford not to take. That was what you got for having briefly had a boyfriend with light fingers where your business account was concerned, and Cat sighed deeply. Well, Peter and his dodgy fingers had been dumped at speed and locked out of all of her bank accounts, though how on earth he'd found her passwords was still a major frustration, considering how careful she'd been. But it meant that her interior design business was still several £1,000s short on its operating budget. And so, while the police investigated wretched Peter, she was forced to take whatever was on offer in the way of jobs. She looked around her. Where the hell was her lift? If the damn client wanted her to come out into the wilds, the very least she could do was show up as promised. And it was then that she saw an older and very rotund woman with wild grey hair storming up to her. "Catherine, why are you ignoring me?" the woman demanded belligerently. Blinking in surprise, Cat answered as civilly as she could. "I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong person. My name's not Catherine." "Oh," snapped the other woman. "Then why are you standing there with all those cases of samples for us? You are the interior designer, aren't you?" Cat felt her own anger rising. How presumptuous of Mrs. Hawkesmoor to use what she thought was her given name. Until they'd been properly introduced, it would have been professional, not to mention polite, to call her Miss or Ms. Newsome. "My name is not Catherine," she said coldly, and with as much calm as she could muster, as Mrs. Hawkesmoor began making shooing gestures towards a mud-begrimed Land Rover parked at an erratic angle on the train station's car park. Mrs. Hawkesmoor sniffed and gave her an odd look. "Oh," she managed to invest that one syllable with an awful lot of disdain. "Are you one of those people who like to go by funny shortenings? I think if your parents give you a proper name, you should use it, not go chopping it about."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?